Okay, this is sort of an orientation video for Social Work 3312, which is known within the program as a human behavior in a social environment lifespan class, which basically means it can cover anything that is social, psychological, or physiological from cradle to grave. Of course, can be a little bit aggravating because it covers so much, but I think it is very important for social workers to take the course, because if you're working with a client and the client is dealing with they've just been told they have stage 4 cancer diagnosis. If you're told that and you are 81 years old, that's one experience. If you're told that and you are 38 years old with a 2-year-old child, that is a different experience. If you're told that when you're 19 years old and you're starting college, that's a different experience. If you're told that when you're 3 years old and you're going to die, that once again is a different experience. Those are 4 different examples of how our lifespan can impact the person we are and how we can handle things and things like that. Okay? I want to give you a brief tour of the class. This is just your welcome and start here page. This is my contact information. I am moving offices, but I will update this once they give me a new office number. Also, if you have trouble with Cengage, they do have like office hours. I will put new times on there as soon as they get back to me and give me that information. You obviously can check your grades there. The course content, this is where you can find the textbook. You will need to purchase MindTap for the textbook that we're using for the course. Here's your syllabus. I would certainly encourage all of you to read it so that you know what is expected of you. Your course calendars, which list all your due dates. If you like a calendar version, those are in there. Basically, that's not a great example. Hang on. You'll see that the modules close on Thursdays, typically. Normally, when one would close here on the 23rd, I did not make it close on the 23rd because that's a Thanksgiving holiday. I moved it back to the 27th. Hopefully, you'll have all of that module done before you leave to go home for Thanksgiving, but that's just an example. If you are more of a list person and you would rather see the dates top to bottom, I would download the course checklist and calculator. That is this particular document. You can see on 8/31, you've got Ashford Chapter 1. The only thing that's due at that particular time is the orientation assignment, which is in the syllabus and Blackboard, and then the polling, which is worth 1 point. 2 weeks later, I expect the whole module to be done, which is the rest of Chapter 1 and all of Chapter 2. You get to Module 3, you've got Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. You get to Module 4, you get only 1 chapter, but it does have the exam that covers Chapters 1 to 4, as well as a discussion. The exams are difficult, but I can tell you that the exams, every answer in the exams comes from the textbook. You don't have lectures, so I only took questions that I knew were covered in the textbook. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be simple questions, but you have a fair shot at answering them, okay? You'll notice that the discussion has 2 different due dates, October 9th and October 12th. The initial post where you answer the question is due by the 9th. That gives everybody at least 3 days to respond to you before the discussion closes on the 12th. I will grade your initial post and your first 2 responses. You're required to do 2. One thing I want to cover is if you look at the point values of everything that is assigned, you'll notice that in each module, there's one assignment that's way more points than the other. In Module 2, it's the reflection. Okay? In Module 3, it's this case study right here. In Module 4, it's the exam and the discussion. In Module 5, it's this particular practice activity. Pay more attention to those. I will pay more attention to them. They are hand graded by me. Your best work on those. Also, make sure that you're looking for feedback once you've completed assignments. If you got a C on a a practice activity or a case study, go back and look at the feedback, because I probably left you feedback for how to improve for the next time. B's, you might not have gotten any feedback because it might have been just, it was okay. It was a little bit above what I expected. A's, you probably got feedback that's not going to help you improve because you're already at the top end of the spectrum. But if you got a C or lower, I can almost guarantee you that you will get feedback that if you follow the feedback, it should improve your grade. You can also use this Excel spreadsheet to tabulate your score. One easy way to do this is if you go through and you download this document and you start filling it out. Let's say on the polling you got 1 point, on the orientation assignment you got all 10 points for that. On this first quiz you got 15 out of 17, you did well. You got the polling, you got 9 out of 10 on the quiz. On the reflection you got 50 out of 64 points, okay? So on September 14th, when this is all done, or let's say September 17th, once everything's graded, well, what's my grade? You can come down here and just sum this up. This is just a simple percentile grade. Do the same for this column over here. So you've earned 86 out of a possible 110 points. You just do percentile just like you learned in junior high school. So you take 86 and divide it by 110. And your grade right now is a 78.1, 78.2. But that's how you keep your grade going. And so you don't really need to ask me at any time what your grade is. You're fully capable of calculating that yourself. Okay? So that's in the syllabus, calendars, and grade calculator. The MindTap and textbook link, this is another way to this gets you to the whole textbook in MindTap. This will get you to individual chapters. I put it on here just in case somebody wanted to orient the class that way. It's not the way that I would advise you to do it. I would advise you to go into the learning modules and then open this learning module 1. You need to do the orientation test, which tests the syllabus. And then chapter 1, why am I here, the polling activity, and then the reading. The reason I would go through these learning module links is because that will take you directly to the exact assignments that are due for that learning module. Like this one in module 2, you get the last half of chapter 1 and then in chapter 2. Now yours may not have this portion over here. A lot of times the student view doesn't, but it will have this table of contents right here. And you should be able to click on those. Or I covered the discussion earlier. Those you can access through the learning modules. This one has the test. I do want you to know that you do have to use Google Chrome to take the test, and they are remotely proctored. So you have to have a camera and a microphone that are functional in order to take the test. If yours are not functional, that will disqualify you from the exam. So make sure that you have access to that equipment. Here's where I was talking about. You can access the discussion board from that particular link right there, or you can come up here and click that one. Here's a link for the Texas Tech email. If you need to email and get in touch with me, you can just come down here to all instructors, or you can come to single users. I'm listed under both lists. Collaborate is very much like Zoom, and so if we need to have a meeting, we could do it here in this course room. Okay, if you email me and say I need to meet virtually, I'm going to tell you, okay, well, let's go on Collaborate at 8:30 Tuesday morning. So what you would do is you would click on Collaborate, then you would go to the course room and click on that, and you're going to come down here to Join Course Room. That will open up a new window, and that's where we can meet in there. Okay. That's about it. If you have any questions, please do let me know. I respond to email. Please don't send me a course message in here. I've disabled it on computers, but I cannot disable it on your phones. So just know that your response time will be much, much better if you email me rather than send me a course message. Okay, and I want to be able to help you. All right, you guys have a nice day, and I look forward to seeing your work in the class.